Welcome to your daily dose of hope. I'm Phyllis Nichols, and I'm glad you're here. Today, I want to talk about what can we do when we're just not feeling it. Some days motivation just isn't there. Maybe the spark's missing. Maybe we're tired. Energy feels flat, and the work that we have to do, it just looks heavier. It feels more difficult than normal. Here's the truth. Success isn't built on feeling it every day. It's built on showing up anyway. And we all understand that, but there are some days where it's just harder than others. There was a morning not too long ago when I was looking at my laptop and I was completely uninspired. I had a pretty lengthy to-do list and none of that looked very interesting. And my brain felt like it was just not functioning, right? Like things weren't clicking. And my first thought was to just wait until I feel ready, right? To just hit the pause button and take a break. And sometimes that helps me a lot. But this time it just felt like I was procrastinating. And an hour slipped by. I did a couple of other things. And the work wasn't any closer to being done. And I just decided, okay, I can't wait for motivation to show up. So I just said, I'm going to get started and just do this one thing, this one 10-minute thing and get started and then see how things were going. And, it was a start. And that one thing turned into a few other things, which eventually became some important things that got completed. And by the end of the day, a lot of things have been accomplished, not because I felt like doing it, but because I started anyway. And that day reminded me of something powerful, really. And we talk about this a lot around hope, right? It's just that action creates momentum, not the other way around. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for, lightning or, like waiting to get in shape before you go to the gym. Like you just can't do it that way. And you also can't control sometimes when you're going to feel super motivated, but you can control showing up and starting small and trusting the forward motion will carry you further than you think. So if you're having one of those days, here's a couple of ways to move forward when you just really rather not. One, obviously, just shrink the task and don't focus on finishing everything or all the things. Start with one small piece. See if you can get some momentum and get things rolling. Another thing, this works for me too, is to change the setting. A different environment, just gives you new energy and can sometimes make diving in a little easier. Leaning on routine can also help, right? There's some few things that I do every morning in the very beginning of my day, and it's sort of like plugging in, right? And once I've sort of done those couple of things, and I do them pretty regularly, pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, then it's easier to go on to the next thing. Sometimes it's just mental shift, right? Remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. The reason matters, even if today's energy doesn't match that. And lastly, celebrate progress, not perfection. Many of us, even when we've accomplished a number of things, even on a day when it felt hard, we don't really give ourselves much credit, and we really should. You don't have to feel inspired every single minute to do meaningful work. You just have to keep going step by step, even on those days when you're just not feeling it. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM. Women's voices amplified.